Hello students, we are doing lesson number 6 of geography, Asia, the largest continent. So we have done its first three main physical divisions up to the southern plateau. First we have done the northern lowlands, then the great central mountain, then the southern plateau. So in this video today we will discuss fourth physical division, the great river valleys. So let us start with, first of all, what river valleys are. So river valleys are that particular area or that particular valley that is formed by flowing water. So as a river water is flowing, with that river water, that land portion that is generated is known as a river valley. So great river valleys are the most important regions of Asia. They are made up of vast stretches of fertile alluvial plains. Alluvial plains means that plain areas that are made up with the alluvial soil. And because of this soil, these areas are very fertile. It means fertility of crop is very nice, and the output from crops we are getting comparatively other area is more here, and are the most thickly populated regions of the world. So this area is thickly populated when we are comparing with the other areas of the world. The valley of Euphrates and Tigris rivers in Iraq, that was known as Mesopotamia, means the area between these two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris. So that area was known as Mesopotamia ancient times, and these rivers flow into the Persian Gulf. So these Tigris and Euphrates rivers, they flow into Persian Gulf. So what is this Gulf? Gulf is inlet from ocean into land masses. So from big water body, that water is getting in that particular small water body that is towards the land portion. That area is known as Gulf. So here it is Persian Gulf. So I will show you Persian Gulf on this map. So this is the map, and this is the part of continent Asia. Here this Persian Gulf is. So this area is of Persian Gulf. Okay, now the valley of the Indus in India and Pakistan is formed by the river Indus and its 5 tributaries. So already we have done the valleys that is in between Euphrates and Tigris. Now we are going to talk about the valleys of India. So in India as well as in Pakistan, valleys are formed by river Indus and its 5 tributaries. So what are tributaries? Tributaries are small rivers that contribute to the water in the main river. Like these tributaries, river Ravi, Jhelum, Beas, Satluj and Chenab, they are contributing their water to Indus river. So these are known as tributaries. Question could be there, write down the name of 5 tributaries of river Indus. Then you will write down Ravi, Jhelum, Beas, Satluj and Chenab. And the valley covers a large part of Pakistan and Punjab in India. So these areas are covered, mainly Indian Punjab and the Pakistan area of Pakistan, and the valley of the Ganga Brahmaputra. So next is the valley of Ganga Brahmaputra in India, forms an extensive plain stretching almost from the Indus Valley in the west to Brahmaputra in the east. So very big area they are forming. The Great Plains of China is formed by China's 3 largest rivers. So Great Plains of China is formed by which river? Then you will answer by three largest river, that are the Huanghe, Yangtze Kiang, and Sikiang. So these are the three main rivers. Then the next physical division is island. So island group means number of islands. So here three major island groups are there, that is Indonesia, Philippines, and Japan. And most of the islands are the unsubmerged part of fold mountains. So unsubmerged part means that part of land that is not underwater. Submerged means underwater, unsubmerged means not underwater. So that is known as a island. So these are the island groups, three major island groups. So up to this physical divisions we have done. Our next topic is climate. The enormous expanse of Asia. So already Asia is the biggest continent of the world. Abundance of mountains, many mountains are there. Mountain barriers and inland depressions have resulted in variety of climatic conditions. Due to vast land portions, abundance of mountains, this result variety of climatic conditions. So Asia experience variety of climatic conditions than the other continents of the world. Monsoons winds influence much of Asian climates. So which winds influence the climate of Asia? That is monsoon winds. Or who affect the climate of Asia? That is monsoon winds. Then is the factors those affecting the climate of Asia. So this is the main. So let us start with the factors. Number one, latitude. The latitudinal extension of Asia is 10 degrees south to 80 degrees north. So this is the latitudinal extent. Sometime in paper question could be there. Write down the latitudinal extent of Asia. Then it extends from the equator to beyond the Arctic Circle. So the climate ranges from hot and wet in south to extremely cold and dry in the north, because it extends from equator. Where areas near to equator are, it means hot and wet areas are there, and beyond the Arctic Circle means the area towards Arctic Circle, they will experience extremely cold and dry weather. So because Asia's northern side is towards this Arctic Circle, it means that northern part will receive extremely cold climate, and southern part is towards the equator, it means hot and wet climate is there in south. Then is the distance from the sea. The parts of Asia which are away from the sea experience continental type of climate. Continental type of climate means climate that is hot in summer and cold in winter. Similarly, that we are receiving. Okay. Then is elevation. Elevation means height. The elevation is also an important modifier of climate. The mountainous area, even though close to equator, experience just like in the polar and subpolar regions, because where high elevation is there means the area is at highest places, or their height is more, then their climate will cooler as compared to the plain areas. So if like even we can give example of India, like in India, Himalayan mountains are there with the elevated peaks, and the highest peaks of Himalayas covered with the snow throughout the year because of their elevation, because of their height only. So the area that are with the great elevation, even they are close to equator, they will experience very cool climatic conditions like polar and subpolar regions. Reason is only their elevation. The next is the monsoon wind that we have started with only. Na? So the monsoon winds have their impact on almost whole Asia. These are responsible for rainfall in most part of Asia. So the responsible factor for rainfall in Asia is what? That is monsoon winds. And the variation in climate give rise to large variations in natural vegetation. So due to variation in climate, just because of that, there is a variation in natural vegetation also. So according to the climate of particular area, their vegetation is. That's why in Asia different type of vegetations are there, because Asia experience different type of climate. The climatic conditions vary according to season also, so that depend upon season also. Like in winter season different vegetations are there, in summer season different are there, and you can understand some of the differences if you study carefully the climatic maps of Asia that showing seasonal variation in temperature and pressure distributions. So from that map we can get how these kind of differences are there. Then is the winter. So we have done that in winter different according to climatic conditions different vegetation is there, and in summer different is there. So let us start with the winter. During winter season, the central part of Asia experience very low temperature resulting in high pressure. So in winter season or in the months of winter, in the parts of Central Asia, due to high pressure that is generated here, it resulted as a very low temperature. So due to low temperature, that season is of winter season. Then ocean is relatively warmer with low pressure over it. Because of low pressure over the area that are near to oceans or the ocean areas, due to this low pressure they are warmer comparatively with the other areas of Central Asia. Those are away from the oceans. The reason is only the pressure, means where low pressure is there, it means area will be warmer, and where high pressure is there low temperature will be there. And this high pressure or low pressure is generated due to the cycle of winds only. Okay, next is, as a result, winds blow from the land to sea. So due to this reason, that winds blow from land towards the sea portion, and since these winds originate over land, so where they are blowing from land to sea, it means they are dry and do not bring much rain, because they are coming from land portions. That's why the amount of water vapor is very less. It means they cannot bring rainfall. And during the season, parts of Southwest Asia, they will receive some rainfall that will brought by westerly depressions that are originating from the Mediterranean Sea. So what westerly disturbances are? So these westerly depressions are the storms that are originating into the Mediterranean region, and that will bring or that are bringing rains or sudden winter rains to the northwest part of India. So in India, rainfall in winter season we are receiving, that is due to this westerly depressions. Now next is the summer. In summer, the landmass of Asia gets intensely heated and a low pressure is created. So already I told you this low pressure and high pressure. So in summer season, due to low pressure that is created in Asia due to intensive heat, and we experience very or extremely hot climatic conditions, and winds in summer blow from sea to land causing heavy rainfall, because during summer season winds are blowing from sea to land. In winter, opposite was there. Winter winds were blowing from land portion to sea. From land to sea, it means dry winds were there, and because they are not having water vapor or amount of water vapor, so they will not able to generate rainfall. But in summers, because these summer winds are blowing from sea to land, it means full of water vapor, they are rich in water vapor, so they are causing heavy rainfall. And the directions of winds over much of South and Southeast Asia reverse seasonally. So according to season, this direction of winds change their directions. These type of winds are called monsoon winds. So which winds are called monsoon winds? Those who are reversing seasonally. So according to the season, they are changing their directions. And in summer, direction is different, and in winter it is different. And due to the influence of monsoon on the climate of South and Southeast Asia, the climate of this region is called a tropical monsoon climate. Sometimes question could be there, what type of climate is here in Asia? So that is a tropical monsoon climate. So why it is known as tropical monsoon climate? Another question could be there. Then your answer will be due to influence of the monsoon on the climate of South and Southeast Asia. Its climate is known, the climate of this region is known as a tropical monsoon climate, as this affects a lot. Distribution of rainfall in Asia is uneven. Means some parts receive maximum rainfall, and some parts of Asia they are receiving very less amount of rainfall. So it means distribution is not equal. Some parts of this continent receives a very large amount of rainfall. So this area that is mentioned, that is Mawsynram in Meghalaya in India. So this particular area, this is the example of area that receives more than 1000 centimeters of rainfall annually. From here you can judge the amount of rainfall. And the other hand, the desert regions receive a very low amount of precipitation. So in here 1000 centimeters rainfall is there annually, and in desert areas less than 50 centimeters. So you can judge the uneven distribution of rainfall. Then is the rainfall generally decreases. The rainfall generally decreases with increasing distance from the sea, and it also decreases from the south to the north. So when we are moving away from the sea, it means less amount of rainfall will be there. And similarly, when we will move towards south to north, again it will be a decrease in rainfall, because southern part of this continent is having more water bodies. But when we are moving towards north, as from here you can judge, this is the continent of Asia. So northern part, they are not having water bodies, huge water bodies. But when we are moving towards the south, this entire area is of water bodies. So Arabian Sea is there, Bay of Bengal, small water bodies are there, then Indian Ocean is there. Okay, so just because of this reason, when we will move from North Asia towards the South Asia, more rainfall will be there, and when we will move from this south towards the north, rainfall will decrease. Reason is only that is the distance from water bodies. Then is climate and vegetation. The climate of an area has a profound effect upon the natural vegetation of that area, because vegetation depends upon the climate. The type of climate is the type of vegetation will be there over that area, and that is true about Asia also. The natural vegetation is very closely related to the climate, especially the distribution of temperature and rainfall shows the major zones of natural vegetation in India. So just according to the climate and the distribution of temperature and rainfall in Asia, there is a different kind of natural vegetation. So that vegetation according to the zones are divided into subcategories. So we are discuss one by one. And that particular topic we will cover in our next video. Till the time, just revise up to this that we have done. Okay, so climatic vegetation topic we will include in our next video, because this is lengthy topic. So till the time, watch this video properly, try to get the topics. If any confusion, any doubt is there, you can message me. Goodbye.